Least. Gautam Shah is with us. He's our market master today, founder and chief strategist at Goldilocks Premium Research. Gautam, good to have you with us here. Good morning. Prashant this side. You know, the Nifty has been, of the lows of October, markets have done well. But are we running into some traffic now? What's the sense? Especially this divergence with what's happening on the Nifty Bank. How will it resolve itself in your opinion?
Good morning, Prashant. Well, indeed, it's been quite a diverging market. If you look at the last couple of weeks, it's been a big global, short covering kind of a rally, because it's not just India, but every other market in the world has seen just such a smart rally, and therefore India has also been a participant. But I think the quality of this rally has really been questionable, because most of the gains have come by way of gaps. And I think intraday strength has just not been there for the index and for the large caps. And because we are living in a disconnected world for the equity markets, probably for the first time in a long, long time, you have a scenario wherein the Nifty, the Bank Nifty, and the top 100 stocks, seem to be underperforming, seem to be in a phase of indecision. Whereas if you look at the broader markets, there is a lot of momentum, there is great outperformance, and obviously there is a lot of liquidity as well. So I'm not a big bull on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. I don't think they're going to go places from current levels. I think they're just broadly going to stay in a range. 19,850 area seems to be a very important resistance. If we were to get past this number on a closing basis, there could be some uptake, but I don't think that the markets are going to easily sustain at higher levels. But I think the real opportunity is clearly in the mid caps and small caps. I think one has to play themes. One has to just forget the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, play themes: sugar, fertilizer, insurance, auto ancillary, infra, PSU. I think that's where money and wealth is being made, and that's where one should focus on.
All right, and there are plenty of themes which are working out this morning. One space that's looking pretty good is all the companies that benefit from lower crude prices, right? So today as well, JK Tyres, for example, is up almost about 3-odd%. You have something like a Berger Paints, which is up almost about 4-odd%. So all the companies that use crude as raw material, they're seeing big moves this morning on the back of that 4% fall in crude overnight. Gautam, hi, good morning. So tell us about the big trend that you see in 2024. Sectorally, stock-wise, which are the stocks that could be the leaders in the next rally?
Well, Surya, how things have changed in the last 3 weeks. While we were at the doors of 18,800, I think the scenario was very different. And now we are at 19,800. Obviously, things have changed. People are a lot more optimistic. Now, it remains to be seen how this pans out, because between now and, say, May 24, we do have a lot of headwinds. We do have events to look forward to. So I don't think the index is likely to do anything special. You broadly stay in a large range where you keep finding supply at high levels and you keep finding support at lower levels, given the liquidity angle and India's outperformance, in the global equity basket. However, having said that, in terms of themes, I think over the next 3 to 6 months, IT and pharma are very big themes. I think IT has seen a good comeback in the recent past, and I do see great upside, maybe 15 to 20% upside on the index. Pharma, as we speak, is at lifetime highs and still looks excellent on the charts. Most of these top line stocks, I think, could see anywhere between 10 to 20%. And mind you, these are the kind of returns which I don't see on the main headline indices, the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. So IT, pharma, auto, and PSU, which continues to be an existing theme, I feel would be the star performers between now and, say, May 24.
Okay, all right. Hi, Gautam. Just give me a minute. I just want to focus on a couple of stocks. Suzlon, the stock that we were talking about, was down close to 4.5%. That's done a U-turn, and that's a big volume spike that you're seeing out there. So that one as well should come up for you. Railtel as well, suddenly that stock as well has spiked up. So a few of these names, they are moving higher, and they're moving with good amount of momentum. Well, Gautam, you were talking about 19,850 and that being a crucial mark. For the time being, we're holding above those levels. So if we breach this mark and we sustain over here, last week's high was 19,875. Where do we go? And till when does this uptrend intact? I mean, on the downside, what's the level we look at on the Nifty?
See, on the downside, very clearly, 19,450, 500 has become a short-term base. So till we are above this number, I think the bulls have some control over the market. So I think that could be used as a trailing stop loss for traders or for positional investors. But I think 850 clearly on a closing basis, 850, 870 area broadly is a very important marker level based on number of technical studies, the moving averages, the trend line, the patterns that we follow. And if we do get past the same, then I think the bulls will consider themselves lucky to possibly take this market back to the previous highs. But as I said, these are days wherein we don't even look at the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, because my bigger problem is that there is no contribution from the large caps. If you look at Reliance, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, ITC, L&T, these are some of these big names which haven't participated in this 1,000-point rally. So the breadth among the top names hasn't been all that great. And that's probably the reason I feel that till the Bank Nifty itself does not start to do well and outperform and start trading above 500, I don't think the Nifty is going to do anything special.
Okay, you said auto, pharma, IT, right? These are a couple of spaces that you like, auto ancillaries as well, till May of 2024. But some of these spaces like autos have rallied so much. I mean, we were just talking about how Bajaj Auto, TVS Motor have seen their highest gains in over a decade, right, in a single year. Do you think there is still more scope for them to build on to these gains?
I think there is a lot of scope even from current levels. We have seen a lot of rotational correction in the market. This is very unlike 2003, 2007, when the markets got into a corrective phase. What happened was everything fell for the time being because the Indian markets was driven by foreign money. And now because it is driven by domestic liquidity and domestic money, sticky money, what's happening is that wherever any pocket turns overbought, it goes through a correction just for the short term, but whereas the other part of the market is strong. But coming back to your point on auto, I think even currently, if you see there are certain stocks which still stand out, while Bajaj Auto has clearly been the star performer, I just get the feeling that some newer stocks might join the party. So a Maruti can do very, very well from here. A Hero Moto seems to be coming out of 12, 15 months of underperformance. That's a stock, which could potentially be a dark horse over the next 6 to 12 months.
Oh, okay. That's Hero MotoCorp. Got it. It has been actually a big underperformer. There's not too much of a technical history for many of these names, but some of these new age businesses, new listings have done pretty well, right? Honasa, of course, is the latest one. Perhaps it still needs to prove itself. But some of the others have also come back in a big way, whether it's Zomato, whether it's Nykaa, not so much. But from this entire lot, does anything stand out for you technically?
One and only, Sonia, that's Zomato. I think we've been a big bull on it for many months now. And I do believe from a technical and from a fundamental standpoint, and given the kind of institutional action that it's seeing, it's probably one name that could continue to do well over the next 6 to 12 months. So we remain very, very positive there. Among the other businesses, you need to be a little careful because I think, everything is being written with the same pen. And I don't think that's the correct way to look at the markets. But even if you look at the small cap and the mid cap space, there are so many stocks which did nothing for a decade and now seems to be breaking out. Look at real estate, did nothing for 10 years. And as the breakout has happened, look at DLF, Oberoi, Prestige, Brigade. I think this is a structural story that will continue. Fertilizer is another space that we like. So I think the top stocks like Chambal could do something special. And with Tesla's entry into India, I think auto ancillary could be a very interesting space as well. So we are watching that closely. And insurance, as a basket hasn't been doing well for the last couple of years. It just seems that the time is right for stocks like SDFC Life, ICICI Lombard, SBI Life to see a special move over the next 6 to 12 months.
Okay, all right. Well, another important factor from an Indian market perspective, Gautam, is crude oil prices. And we are happy to see that in the last 45 days, Brent crude has corrected from about $97 per barrel to around $80 per barrel. How is it looking on the charts? Where do you see this one headed?
Well, Nigel, who would have thought? I think we lived in a world of serious geopolitical concerns. And typically, if you looked at history, you would have expected crude to actually inch towards three figures. But then it's seen this drop. And that's the kind of world that we are right now. I don't see much downside. Yes, it's been a bit of a dip, but I think NYMEX crude somewhere around this 70 to 75 zone, should find solid support. So broadly, 70, 90 is the sort of range that it's going to trade in. But the bigger trade for me over the next 1 year, and I've been maintaining this stance, is gold and silver. I see gold and silver breaking out and challenging equity market index returns over the next 1 year. I wouldn't be surprised if gold takes out 2070 and moves towards 23, 2400, and silver eventually in international terms goes towards 28, 29. So that's where, we are quite positive, and we would recommend your viewers to top up as well.
You would recommend our viewers to top up as well. Is the for equity indices, Gautam, is the road clear in the MSCI World Index, etc.? How are things looking there?
The world is not too clear. It's quite hazy. In fact, if you look at the MSCI World Index, MSCI Emerging Market Index, or the developed world, it's just that this 2-week long snapback rally that we've seen, it's giving everybody the feel that everything is, well in this world, because yields have cooled off, inflation has cooled off, the fundamental triggers that people are talking about. But I don't think it's as rosy as it seems in terms of price action. So I think indices around the world will remain a little challenging, but I think the real opportunity, not just in India, but world over, is in themes and in stocks. I think that's the world that we are going to see over the next 6 to 12 months.
All right. We'll let you go on that note. Thanks a lot, Gautam. Always great speaking with you. Thanks for joining us on the channel. That's Goldilocks Premium Research. Very optimistic on the market.